All right, hit it. What's up, folks? Welcome to the call.
Our daily Zoom up here with myself, the old man, and the young buck there, Michael Huggins, who is the phenom.
What's up, everybody? Glad you could join us today.
That's a good name for you, phenom. I'm gonna start using. Hey,
Uh,
we need like a jersey with phenom on the back and like and on the back, and the number would be 02 for all the right reasons.
oh, come on. oh,
Because
goodness.
Vanessa's number one.
That's exactly it. See, all the
Ah.
right reasons.
That's a nice recovery on my part. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome into the Zoom Up, where we're featuring a story from our community every single day for the last 3 weeks. Look, I'm impressed with us. I mean, we're two men with no female help whatsoever. I don't think. I don't know if you have.
no,
My females are like, are we, is it our Zoom Up or is it Mike? I'm like, it's Michael. They're like, good. So I'm impressed with our ability to stay consistent.
it's working.
It's working. Yeah. We got a lot of recordings now. So you want to tell them where to find those recordings in case they want to send them out to people?
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, we have a playlist on YouTube. So, if you go to Elevate Renatus YouTube channel, click on playlist, you'll see our Zoom Up playlist right there with over 20 videos in there now, and it's growing.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is you guys could actually grab, like, let's say you're talking to somebody that's looking to that want to do real estate or they want to join our community. We know that relatable stories. Like yesterday, we had a Navy vet, Scott Loader, on. So if you know somebody that's a veteran, they want to hear from a veteran. They relate. So today, can I introduce today?
Take it away, my friend.
All right. So today we've got our special guest today hails from the West Coast. I got a chance to travel out for 6 months and hang out with her and the crew in Sacramento as we open that office up. And she's got a great story. She helped a ton of people. She's got a huge ripple. She was in charge of our essential study group, and people came out of that thing. I mean, I would be running a meeting, Michael, right? And there would be cheering going on over here. Like she interrupted, like there was a bunch of glass, and everybody's cheering because of the kind of success they were having working with Kandice Gaunt in that community out there. So she's
Nice.
so lives are changed because they hung out with Candace.
Wow.
Okay. So I don't know if you want to say anything if or not. Maybe you can just finish up and tell these guys what we're doing next. We have a couple workshops coming up, but we'll handle that at the end.
Yeah. So Scott talked about groups of people getting together. Yes, this is a unique thing, a real estate investing community. And you don't have to do this alone. We do this all over the nation. We link arms with each other to help each other's businesses grow, get more deals done. And then, like Scott said, celebrate each other's success. So here we are today celebrating another success. And so there are more videos like this. So stay tuned for more. Get back with the person who invited you here because there are house tours, workshops, and then strategy sessions. Everyone's got to know how they can fit into our community and get the benefits that we're currently getting. So, with that, I'm going to let you guys take it away.
Candace gone, everybody.
All right. I'm glad you guys are all here. So, like Scott said, I'm actually from Northern California. I'll be heading back there. A little bit about my story and kind of finish it up with kind of what I'm doing now. But I started off, well, several years back now, and I was a lender. I was actually a lender for about 18 years. And at the time that I entered into meeting the community, it was a pretty turbulent time in my life. So I have 5 kids, and I was by myself with all of them. Finishing a bachelor's degree, I was a lender, and I have 2 special needs kids. So we were in and out of hospitals a lot, and such a great time to start real estate investing, right? Doesn't that sound like a great real estate investor story? So yeah, right. So sitting there, basically, kind of how it worked for me is I was just sitting there one day, just going, okay, I'm just going through the grind over and over and over. I have kids going in and out of hospitals, and really captive to an employer. I mean, I didn't have the time that I needed. I didn't have the money that I needed. I was just terrified on where we were going to go next. How was I going to flash forward years down the road? How was I going to be able to care for them? Because I knew that their care would get exponentially, harder and more expensive and more time consuming. And it just sitting there by yourself, kind of sitting there at night, wondering how that's all going to work. I decided to start researching, people who basically have a lot of net worth. And I kept finding out that a lot of them were in real estate. But I knew real estate investors and they wouldn't share with me what was going on. I knew agents and most of them were broke. So I knew neither of those ways I was going to get into real easy. So as I started kind of going down that road and falling on my face a lot and not having the community, not having people to help me, I actually started reaching out and happened to answer someone's ad. And a guy said, "Hey, you should meet these people. They get together every week. I think it'll be really great." Well, I was really skeptical. So I decided that I would take one of my kids with me to this meeting. And I just told him, I said, "Okay, look, if it's really weird, just pretend like you're sick and you're going to throw up and we'll leave." He's like, "Okay, I got you." Right. So we sat there and I'm listening to people talk. And I'm like, okay, I assessed in about 5 minutes. They knew more than me. So what I was looking for was looking for people who knew more than me, who could help me get to the next spot because I didn't know how to do it on my own. So at that point in time, my son's going, "Okay, so we're going to go." I'm like, "No, we're going to sit here and listen. And shh, quiet. I don't want them to know we don't know anything." He goes, "Okay." So the end of the night comes and they say, "Hey, do you want to come back?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I get to come back? All right, yeah, I'll come back. See you next week." Still don't know what's going on. So third week, I find out after week after week after week, every person I'm seeing knows more than me. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how I can get into this community. How do these guys do this? And then I got a call from James. And James Least, who runs our Sacramento office, and he said, "Hey, you keep coming to our office and nobody knows who you are. You just keep leaving. So how about we have coffee? And I tell you a little bit about what we do." And I said, "Okay." So really bad day. I almost didn't go. I talked myself out of going several times. And I thought, you know what? This is silly. You've been asking for help. If this guy is full of it, you can just leave. Okay. So I decided to go. And in about 5 minutes, I said, "Okay, this is what's going on in my life. I've got this going on with the kids. I'm trying to get through school. I'm a lender. I don't make enough money. I don't have enough time. I need to figure out how to go from point A to point B, and I need somebody smarter than me. So you got 5 minutes to show me that you're smarter than me, or else I'm done." At that time, he's like, "Okay, I don't think you know what we do." And he started showing me how they work together and how they get educated. And I was blown away. At that point, I said, "Okay, who can do this? Anybody? You mean right now I can do this?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Great, gotta go. Talk to you later." It's a couple weeks later. I think he didn't think I was even gonna call him back, but I did. I figured out how to get the money actually. And so what I did was I called him back and said, "Okay, I'm ready to get started." All right. So that sounds great. What does that mean? Right? Get started. And I'm like, okay, I don't have time for fix and flip. I don't have the kind of money for buy and hold. I don't know how to do apartment buildings. Where do I even start? So I started learning about wholesaling. Wholesaling was how I started. I still do wholesaling today because it worked for my family. I could still research properties sitting in a hospital room late at night. I could do it in the morning. I could drop the kids off at school. I could go run by a couple properties. Even if I had a kid that was with me that wasn't feeling good, I could take that kid with me. So I realized, okay, I could do this. Well, now I was terrified. I was scared to death. So I was like, okay, I'm learning how to do this wholesale thing. And I had promised one of my instructors actually that I would write an offer in the next 30 days. Well, I had been around for about 90 days at that time, but I was too scared to write an offer. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but that first time can get terrifying if you don't know what you're doing. And I hadn't have any money. So I thought, okay, well, how am I going to write an offer when I don't have the money to buy this house? Like I don't understand that. So I learned really quickly that I could control the deal. And so deal after deal, I kept seeing these great deals and my team kept saying, "Okay, you're going to write an offer?" No. "Well, you promised that you were going to write one in 30 days. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll get to it. I'll get to it." 2 weeks goes by. They're like, "Okay, you keep having these deals. If you don't start writing these offers, we're going to take those deals from you because they're really good. So you better do something." So week 3, I decided, okay, fine. They're putting my feet to the fire. They're holding my hand the whole way. I'm going to go ahead and write 4 offers. And I was so sick to my stomach. I said, I got to go home. And I threw up. Couldn't sleep for 2 days because I thought, oh, that's it. I don't have the money. I don't know what's going to happen when they accept these offers. And they didn't accept any of them. So I was, wait a minute. What do you mean they didn't accept my offer? Why didn't they accept my offer? Well, let me read a few more. 34 offers later, I finally got one accepted. Well, then I was terrified because I was like, now what do I do? You have to put up $500 earnest money deposit, the agent says. I said, okay, well, I don't have $500. So I had to go borrow $250 of my $500 earnest money deposit just to be able to get into this deal. Terrifying. So I finally scrape it together in like 24 hours and I put the money in there. I mean, it might as well have been $10,000. It didn't matter. Didn't have it, right? So I got it together though. So I said to a friend, look, here's the deal. I need to just borrow this for a couple weeks and I will give it back to you. Okay. So we finally get into the deal. Then I'm scrambling, going, okay, well, now what do I do next? So my team's like, okay, well, here, walk through this, So I was so terrified to go off the path, kind of like when you're driving in the fog and you're like, okay, I feel the little bumps on the road. I'm just going to stick right here. So whatever was in my classes at that time, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to listen to exactly what my instructor tells me to do. And 2 weeks later, I ended up closing the deal. So I turned that $500 into a $10,000 paycheck, right? Now I did this research, writing offers literally in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., sitting in a hospital room with my kids. That's how that was. So I thought, okay, if I put up this money and now I got the money in my account, and all day I kept going online to online banking and pulling up, oh my God, it's still there. They're not, I actually made this money. Well, if I could do it once, I could do it again. So I thought, okay, well, I give my friend her money back and I still had $10,250 in my bank account. Huh. All right, well, we can do it again. And so I just kept doing it over and over and over. And so years later now, I'm like, 7, 8 years down the road, my kids are now grown and my 2 special needs kids are finally into assisted living. And so I really hit this really interesting place this year. So you plan and you plan and you plan and you hope the path that you're on. And I knew all the people that I was working with were not leading me astray. So I just kept going down that path. And now this year, I'm able to care for them. I'm still caring for them. And I'm able to go and travel. So far, in the last 3 months, I've actually visited 9 different states. I'm in the middle of visiting 7 more. I was able to help my son pay for his wedding. I was able to go and visit my grandson, visit my granddaughter, put my other kids in the homes that they needed to be in and be able to be there to help them. So today is like to look at all the hard work that's gone on because of the people that I've been involved with and the community and the education that I've learned and the hard work, perseverance. I now get to live this other life that I only could have dreamed about 8 years ago that I would have been to this place. Like days were dark at that time, right? And so I thought, okay, if I could just get to this place when they need me, I'm there. Now when they need me, I'm there. So example, I'm in Colorado right this second, and one of my kids needed me, and I hopped on a plane and went and saw him for a couple of days and flew back. Yeah, would have not been able to do that. If they say, oh, well, gee, mommy, and I need money for this medication, or I need money for, the utility bill or something because, 2 of them can only, marginally work and they're on disability. I don't worry about it. Like this morning, I'm saying, okay, you need that for that bill? Awesome. Venmo, done. Right. So this world is so different today. And I'm so excited. COVID was honestly a blessing for me because I was stuck inside 4 walls like everybody else. But I thought, okay, our business, we can do anywhere and everywhere. Right. So I've been researching properties in Oregon and Washington and Wyoming and Colorado and Idaho and Montana. I mean, who could do that, right? You're just sitting there going, okay, my boss, I'm captive to my boss every single day. I'm not. I can be on a call with you guys, sharing to you, the power of our community and what we can do, but I can do it from anywhere. So on Monday, I take off and I'm going to go to Nebraska and Oklahoma and end up in Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, and back to California again. While everybody else is still sitting in COVID worrying about where their next paycheck is going to come from or whether or not somebody can tell them they can leave their house or not. I still have the freedom and still take care of my family. So I think that kind of says a lot about the power of our community and what we can do. Yeah.
Wow.
I got a
Well, what a-
question. Oh, there he is. You want to go, Phenom?
Oh, I was just wondering, my question is from beginning the program until your first deal, how long was that?
For I had my first paycheck, it was like 3.5 months.
Wow. Okay.
I had a couple people that I brought onto my team, and I did make some money there too in marketing. And then so I made like $2,000 in marketing, and then I made a $10,000 check. So I guess my first 90-ish days, you could say I made a little over $12,000. So I think that was pretty good.
I got a
Nice.
question. Can I ask? Old man here.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, so I heard a lot of wholesaling. Is there any other strategy you're just focusing
Yeah.
on wholesaling? You got your niche. You're like, this is my
I
game.
like wholesaling because I like chasing the deal. I did learn that about myself. I really like hunting the deal, but I really enjoy helping the homeowners. Like I work with people. I say it's on the dark side of real estate. I deal with all the D's: death, destruction, disaster, divorce, dilapidation, anything having to do with a tragedy. Really, that's kind of how I come into it. And so I get to help those people out of their pain, which is awesome. So you help enough other people, right? You get what you need, and so I help them first, and that's kind of how that starts. But I do it in all different ways. Probate, which I would have never learned without the community. Short sales, I actually specialize in short sales. I still do short sales today, and that's a fantastic strategy. It helps people. I mean, people in foreclosure, especially when they're upside down, they're terrified. So it's, to me, really nice to be able to come in alongside of them and really help them out of a bad situation so that they can avoid a foreclosure. Yeah, they have a default at the moment, but it's going to be a sale. So it doesn't really repair their credit, but it does give them some dignity of their life back, and they get to stand proud of, hey, I sold my house. Wasn't foreclosed on. So I like that strategy a lot. So between probate and short sales, I focused a lot on those. I have bought property at auction. So, I like to land bank. And so I have some properties, I picked up in that regard. Tax liens and deeds, I learned about that. I like looking at the auctions and acquiring them that way. I wouldn't have done that either. Also stuff I can do from my computer at home in the middle of the day. So I did a couple of fix and flips. It's not really my thing. I have to sit on the job too long. And I deal with a lot of contractors, and it's just not really I like to be in and out a lot faster. So to me, it wasn't really my thing. Done them. Just
Oh, she's muted. You're muted. You're muted. Wait, let me unmute her. Hold on.
love it. So that's goes. Oh.
Yeah, I unmute you.
Oh, there we go.
Now she's gone.
I don't know what's happening there. All of a sudden my phone went interesting. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so those are all things that right now, what I'm really focusing on and why I'm actually going on this little road trip over the next week and a half is because I'm actually looking at like smaller multi-units. So I'm looking at transferring now into more cash flowing properties. And so over the time, it's evolved from my wholesaling, and then working into short sales and probates and fix and flip and tax liens and auctions and that sort of thing. And now I'm moving into this whole other category of joining the multi-unit and looking for things like 4 to 12 units right now is kind of my new niche. So that's my next adventure.
I want to ask one more question just to kind of give scope to people.
Yeah.
What's the lowest successful sale? What's the profit on your lowest sale? It could be $1, it could be 50 cents. I don't know, just to get out of the deal or make it happen for somebody. What's the highest? and
Okay.
an expectation, because you're wholesaling. Now, in my case, chasing a deal wasn't something I wanted to do. I wanted to have rental properties where people were paying me rent and going to work and paying me,
Right.
right, like a portfolio. But I want to kind of give a scope of things. You enjoy it.
I do.
Lowest profits, highest profit, and what kind of expectations do you have for yourself annually? Like, if I'm not making this, then I'm not working hard enough. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, my lowest deal was $5,000.
Oh,
My highest profit was 40.
40. All
So
right.
yeah, my average is 15,000. So
Okay.
that's
So
kind of
what?
how I go.
So annually, what is it? Because some people
So
are, they have
five,
jobs. They're like, hey,
yeah.
I want to get out of my job. I might want to do what this girl's doing. So what kind of
So at
expectations?
first, I was just really hoping to just get obviously some extra money to kind of help ends meet because we were
Yeah.
always falling short.
Yeah.
And so my thought was, if I could just make an extra, $1,000 a month was really kind of where I was at when I first started. My goal was to be able to average 10,000 a month. Like that was always, my goal. And interestingly enough, is that was based on also a different mindset of the debt that I had at the time. So the fun part is that I was able to, get into a different position come the beginning of actually by the 4th of January this last year. And so my overhead now is very, very low. My overhead is barely over what my original requirement of 1,000 a month was. So that kind
Oh,
of tells you something.
wow.
So I live a completely different life than I expected. So now, like, what do I want? I want to be able to get to $1 million a year. That's my goal. But what do I need?
Yeah.
15,000 a year. Because I took strategies I learned actually in my classes and paid off all my debt.
There you go. Velocity banking. Yeah.
So and so it's a really different shift. I mean, I can't that's hard to kind of explain the peace level that you get. And it took me a while to really get it, but remember sitting there on January 4th when I paid cash for a car and got rid of the car I had a loan on. And that was the last piece. And I was like, whoa, what do I do tomorrow?
Peace of mind, baby. More money coming in than going out,
Right,
and not fighting
exactly.
traffic. Yeah.
So now my goals are changing, but it's different because technically, I guess I make more money than my debts, right? So wouldn't we be technically out of the rat race now, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but there's no debt there. So how much
Yeah.
money do you need, right? And so today I would like to, yeah, I don't want to make less than 100 a year, but I'd like to make $1 million a year. So
And that's good. That's good perspective, because I'm glad I asked the questions, just because a lot of people are like, wow, man, success is $1 million a year. But maybe success is just like peace of mind, right? Like, hey,
right.
if I can eliminate all the debt and live the way I want to live, and I have a system I know I can generate $10,000 a month at
Yep.
will, because I'm so good at it, that might be a good goal for some people to hear on the line today. It's not a
Yeah.
perspective. It's not a perspective you hear a lot on these webinars. So.
No. No. And so now I'm going into new goals and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do buy and hold properties and then pay them off because I really like a debt free life. I did realize that over the last couple months. That is more fun than I thought it would ever be. So, don't want to go backwards, So there's good debt and bad debt, right? I learned a lot about that too. Like I can have good debt in order to generate cash flow properties, but then with that cash flow, because my overhead is so low, I can pay those off really fast.
Yeah.
And then that life is that life doesn't stop, right? My lifestyle will never go back to what it was.
Then you're building an
That's
empire.
priceless to me.
All right. Well, I appreciate you getting on here. We've gone a little bit longer, but I think it was worth
Yeah.
it. I appreciate you. Michael, you guys want Phenom, Mr. Phenom.
Yeah, congratulations, Candice.
For the people that, I gotta say this, Michael Huggins, I'm 52, so the 10,000 square foot building behind me, and what I got is like, all right, but the Phenom we're talking about, Michael Huggins, is sitting on 265 acres in Tennessee, baby, at 32 years old.
Nice.
This is the kind of stuff you could do. So
yeah, we're
It
building
is.
a dream. And like Candice pointed out, a lot of it had to do with the community supporting and helping us at the beginning and just making sure that we avoided these pitfalls along the way. And now we can go 100 miles an hour and not have to worry about it. So congratulations to you, Candice. Thank you for coming out here and sharing your story.
Yeah.
And
Again,
to everyone else that was listening, I hope you're inspired to get out there, change your life, make some decisions, stop settling
yeah,
for less than what you deserve.
what you should do right now is don't be Candace in the beginning. Oh, well, I'll see you in 2 weeks, right? Don't leave the meeting. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and then try and figure it out. What you should do is contact the person who got you this information, whether it's a recording or you're here live. It doesn't matter. Even if you're seeing this recording, get back in touch with the person who gave this to you, because they've got a plan that they're executing, and you should jump on that plan train with the rest of us. So.
Yep. Yep. If you fail to plan to fail. Let's stay focused. We've been working this plan for over a decade now, and it's working. So again, if you like what you heard, go ahead and check out the YouTube channel. There's some more videos and stories there, and we will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. Have a great day, everyone.
Tomorrow, hold on a second, just for everybody to know. Tomorrow, I already know it's going to be Cecilia Hakey. She's in her 20s right now in Minnesota. She graduated college. Her goal is to never have a job again, and we're going to hear from a girl that was able to do that. So.
Yep. It's a beautiful story. So thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Stay focused.